21 Morning News, your all live, all local morning newscast on Right Now.
Well, good morning and welcome back to your Fox 21 Morning News on this Friday. It is May 15th. I'm Kimberly Price.
And I'm Craig Coffey. We start this hour with breaking news. Pueblo police are now investigating a suspicious death on Lake Avenue near Adams Avenue. Police respond to the call around 2 a.m.
They found a 40-year-old man inside his residence. No other information being released at this time. We do have a crew at the scene, and we'll bring you more information as this story develops.
Yeah, the website fox21news.com. And of course, listen to us throughout the hour and 8 o'clock hour as well. All right, let's go ahead and check on weather now with meteorologist Justin Chambers. Big weekend forecast coming up. A lot of people want to know what's going on.
Exactly right, Craig. We're going to be a little bit active as we get into the weekend, so we've got to watch out for those showers and thunderstorms, especially as we get into tomorrow afternoon. Right now, kind of a partly cloudy morning, more clouds than sun, but enough of the sun is breaking out just to light up Pikes Peak, which we love to see right there, America's mountain off in the distance. Here's a look at your satellite and radar picture, and the clouds on the left of your screen with more of the showers and even some snow showers north of Durango and the Four Corners, working up the western slope right now. We're not seeing much in the way of actual showers here, but as we get later into the afternoon, at least some spotty showers and a couple of isolated thunderstorms cannot be ruled out. 40s and 50s from Monument down through the Springs and Pueblo at this hour. How about 62 in La Junta and 59 in Lamar? A lot of that is due to the fact that the winds are picking up at about 14 to 20 miles an hour from the south in that area of the state. We're going to continue to see those winds throughout the I-25 corridor and the Pikes Peak region and the plains later this afternoon. So breezy to windy at times. Again, a slight chance of a couple of isolated thunderstorms and showers as well. More storms expected by the time we get into Saturday afternoon, as we're going to see a more active weather pattern for the weekend. Here's a look at your day planner for today. We'll be in the 50s by 9 a.m., mid to upper 60s by noontime, and again, a slight chance of a storm with breezy conditions later this afternoon. The only place live and local to get all of your news, weather, and traffic information is right here. Speaking of which, let's take a look at your commute. How it's shaping up at 7 o'clock this morning. Of course, Brittany out on the road, so we are taking you on the road here. Highway 24 and 31st Street. You can see no issues there near Old Colorado City. Good flow of traffic at this time. Also in Manitou, still that pothole being an issue over there on Ruxton Avenue. And as Craig and Kim just talked about, a lot of police activity continuing on Lake Avenue near Adams in Pueblo. Police are saying please stay away from that area if possible. No issues on I-25 or on the Powers Corridor. Another look at weather and traffic coming up.
5 minutes past the hour, new this morning, the wreckage of a U.S. military helicopter missing in Nepal has now been found on a mountain east of Kathmandu.
Nepal's defense secretary says that 3 bodies are also found at the crash site. Now, the Pentagon says the UH-1 Huey had 6 U.S. Marines and 2 service members from Nepal on board when it lost contact on Tuesday. Radio transmissions indicate that the crew was having some type of fuel concern before it went missing about 45 miles east of Kathmandu.
The helicopter was assisting with disaster relief following the devastating earthquake that struck on April 25th, killing thousands. Another strong earthquake hit Nepal on Tuesday afternoon, causing more casualties and damage.
Now for an update on that deadly Amtrak crash, killing 8 people in Philadelphia and injuring more than 100 others.
Repair crews now at the scene replacing the damaged rail tracks. Meanwhile, investigators have recovered footage from the train's camera. It indicates the train was going more than 100 miles per hour as it approached the bend, not slowing down. The National Transportation Safety Board has now created an inspection plan to look into the train's records.
The engineer at the controls of the train has not given a statement at this time yet, but his attorney says he has no recollection of the crash and as it reached the curve before he was knocked unconscious. Amtrak service remains suspended between Philly and New York.
Well, less than a day after the derailment, a Republican-led House panel approved a measure that would cut funding to Amtrak by 15%.
Democrats argue what happened Tuesday shows that Amtrak needs more money to prevent something similar from happening again. House Speaker John Boehner thinks otherwise.
Are you really going to ask such a stupid question? Listen, you know, they started this yesterday. It's all about funding. It's all about funding. Well, obviously, it's not about funding. The train was going twice the speed limit.
The White House press secretary says investigating an Amtrak should not be a partisan issue. He says investing more in transportation infrastructure is common sense.
7:07 next, another victim gives emotional testimony in the Aurora Theater shooting trial. Yesterday, Carly Richards talked about all the surgery she's had since the attack.
How many surgeries did you end up having, Ms. Richards?
About 4 or 5.
right? And what kind of surgeries did you have to have?
I had to have pellets of birdshot removed from my body, usually a couple at a time.
And could you describe for the jury where in your body you had these pellets removed?
Yes, I had at least 2 in my right arm. I had 2 or 3 in my left leg. I had a couple in my back, and then I had at least 1 or 2 removed from my chest.
Attorneys for James Holmes admit he is the gunman, but says he's not guilty by reason of insanity. The prosecution, though, says he was sane at the time of the shooting. 12 people were killed, 70 others wounded.
It is 7:08 and now to Pueblo, where investigators identify a body found in a drainage ditch behind a shopping center. The county coroner says it's 35-year-old Sabrina Marie Rebetorano. There is still no cause of death. More tests on the body are planned. Rebetorano was found last Saturday covered in mud, partially submerged in water.
7:08. Next, good news for D11 teachers. A salary increase is approved for the upcoming school year. The board approved a 1% increase for current teachers. Those teachers will also get a one-time 4% bonus for next year. The starting salaries will also go up from $32,000 to $34.7. D49 also approving a 3.5 salary increase for its teachers.
Well, next, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell will hear Tom Brady's suspension appeal. Now, the Patriots quarterback received a 4-game suspension without pay after an investigation found he likely knew his footballs were underinflated. The NFL Players Association filed the appeal. It argues that a neutral party should hear the arguments.
NFL rules say that a hearing must begin within 10 days of the league's receipt of the appeal. Meanwhile, the Patriots received a separate punishment, a fine of $1 million. It will also forfeit its first-round draft pick in 2016 and its fourth-round draft pick in 2017.
I agree. Why should Goodell be the one to hear the appeal? He's the one that dished out the penalty.
Yeah, it's like a conflict of interest, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So.
I think Tom Brady, though, and the Patriots, unfortunately, will be okay.
Unfortunately.
after all of this. Oh,
okay.
Don't block the
bug. Well, he says this, which is true.
It's true. Look at that. It's a mess.
Like hidden.
Well, I want people to see your mug.
Okay.
There you go.
Much better.
Perfect.
Thanks,
see,
Justin.
right there.
They should see what's in it.
Coffee.
It's a Friday.
Come on.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
7:10 is your time to stop. A new Olympic museum is coming to the Springs. There's nothing in here. Stop it.
Okay, we're going to tell you what it will feature and when it's going to open later this hour. Justin.
I can't wait for that. That thing looks really cool, the big USOC. All right, so Kidscaster in the house. We'll have Anaya back in to help me do the weather. Lord knows I need help. Maybe we'll dance on a Friday. I don't know. There are rumors about that. We'll talk about that and your forecast for the weekend. That's all coming up after the break.
You're watching Fox 21 Morning News with Kimberly Price, Craig Coffey, and meteorologist Justin Chambers. This is Fox 21 News right now.